We are ready to work on question 5 of the project. This is the last of the 5 questions, and it's actually going to be the quickest and easiest to do in Excel. So, open up your Excel file, go to the Data Spreadsheet tab or page of the Excel file. That's this main one with all the responses in it. And scroll down to the part that looks like this. This is going to be in rows 66 through 76. So click in cell F7 and type equals COUNTIF, that's C-O-U-N-T-I-F, all one word, parenthesis, F $3 colon F $57 comma $D 67 close parentheses and hit enter. Now what you just did, you asked Excel to count all of the contents of cell F3 through F57. That's from here down to here. So those are all the responses in column F for question 5A, the question about the quality. So you asked Excel to count for all the contents of those cells, count the ones that are equal to what's in cell D67, which is the words very good. So in my spreadsheet, there were 18 very goods. 18 of the things in those cells matched very good. Now I'm going to fill in the rest of this little table. See this little tiny square in the lower right corner? Click on that and drag across through these other two columns. By the way, these all should be wide enough that you can see these words, that they're not scrunched up. But if you need to adjust the width, if you need to widen any of them, you can click up here at the top between, on the boundary line between the two columns to widen or narrow any of these columns. Okay, so it looks like we got 18 very goods for the quality, 5 very goods in the selection question, and 21 in friendliness. Notice what's in this cell G6 here. When we copied it over, the F's changed to G's. What you typed in had F's, but when we copied it over, Excel automatically adjusted that because instead of being in column F, now we're in column G. So it was looking at the responses in G3 through G57. The $ in front of the D meant that it did not adjust that. It's still looking at D67 here. So if we did not put the $ in front of the D, then when we copied it over, Excel would have tried to adjust that and change it to like E67 or something. So now we're going to fill in the rest of these rows. So select all 3 of these. Make sure all 3 of these cells are selected. And now click in the little box and drag down to the bottom row of the table, the one that says poor. So now they should all be filled in. And while I've got them all highlighted, let me center them all because I do want all of these numbers centered in their cells. Now in each column, the numbers should add up to 55. So let's do a quick check and make sure they do. You could add them by hand, like just add up what's 18 plus 16 plus 8 plus 13 should be 55. You could have Excel do the adding for you. So while we're on this cell below it, I can click where it says auto sum and then just hit enter and there's the 55. Do the same here. That's 55. Do the same here. That's 54. So that should have added up to 55, but instead it only added up to 54. That's because in one of the cells in this column, it did not get counted as any of those things: very good, good, fair, or poor. Now what actually happened is in this cell right here, H3, it looks like it says fair, but it's actually F-A-I-R space. It doesn't match exactly the word fair because it's really fair with a space after it. That's why it did not get counted. So I'm going to click here, I'm going to go up here and delete the space. So now it really just does say F-A-I-R. And now if we go scroll back down, now that's changed the count, so now it does add up to 55. Now we're good. Now we're going to fill in the percents. What percent of the responses were very good and fair and poor? So again, hopefully all your columns just added up to 55 and you didn't have to fix anything. But if they don't, something's wrong somewhere. You need to find out what's wrong and fix that. It might be that in one or more of the cells in your spreadsheet, it's not spelled or formatted exactly right, so it didn't get counted as either very good, good, fair, or poor. Maybe you have some blank cells that you forgot to fill in. Or maybe when you were typing things in here, you didn't type them exactly right. You left out something or misspelled something. So check that it's typed in correctly. So now we're going to fill in the percent. So click in F73, that's right here, and type in equals F67 divided by, which is the slash, 55, and hit enter. So it's taking the number that was up here in cell F67, that was 18 for me, it'll probably be a different number for you, and then it's dividing that by 55. So 18 divided by 55 turns out to be 0.33, and this is already formatted as a percent. So when you get your Excel file, it should already be set up so that those cells are formatted as percents. But if it's not already formatted as a percent, you can go up here and change this to percentage. Now we're going to copy across and down, just like we did up here, to fill in all of these. Make sure they're all formatted as percents. Make sure they're all centered. Mine already are, but if yours aren't, you can fix that. And that's really all we needed to do for that. So go ahead and save your work. And then go into Canvas and submit this latest version of your Excel file.